What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Sick Podcast. Steelers crazy. We're happy to be joining you. End of the week episode. Hope you're getting ready for the weekend, getting excited. Obviously, this is our first weekend, technically, without the NFL season being here following the Super Bowl last weekend. So we are fully in off-season mode. But like you always say, man, the grind doesn't stop here. That's my guy at Jordan York Music. I'm Mike Nicastro. How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. My sister's getting married, so it's like my Friday today. So just going to be heading to downtown Pittsburgh tomorrow, Renaissance Hotel, enjoy some time with the family, celebrate my sister and a new family member. And, we have to, we have to talk Steelers before we depart.
It's always Steelers, man. And the offseason for us means we get to bring on an assortment of players and personalities. We got one today. We're super excited about this dude. Was a Steelers defensive back for 5 years. I'm happy to talk draft with him and a little bit of ball. Let's bring him in right after we roll our intro.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Harris Smith shields. Flacco. Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
Super sick. Our next guest played a 5 solid years. The Pittsburgh Steelers was a key cog on the early 2010s defense, which was one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time in the black and gold. He's here today joining us post tooth numbing,
Dedication.
which is fun for us, man. Super dedicated. He's none other than Cortez Allen.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry about my face. Just come from the dentist, so still no.
Hey, we appreciate the dedication, man. We really
The
do.
dedication is awesome over here, man. It gives us a good story at least. And you look, I mean, come on now. You look good.
I age well.
You look like you can still get out there and play some corner, man. Are you kidding me?
Okay. I'm more in dad mode nowadays.
Oh, really? Tell us about that, man. What do you got? A couple kids?
I have a 4-year-old son. He'll be 5 in June. I have a daughter who'll be 2 in June. One's on the 12th, one's on the 21st, so they just flipped their dates. But great kids and just give you so much more perspective on life and just everything in general. I think it's one of the best teachers I've ever had in my life.
As a 5-year-old, are you starting to show him some tape yet? Are you sitting down with him? Like, here you go.
I'm starting to build the foundation for him. He's in jiu-jitsu right now. So it's like,
Wow.
If he ever gets that, that itch to play football, he'll be good at tackling at least early. So I just basically anything he's interested in, I throw it at him, see how he takes it. Yeah.
Love that. Well, if he takes after his pops, he's certainly going to have some NFL chops. No
Absolutely.
doubt about that, man. We'll get into your time with the Steelers a little bit, but I know everybody right now is already thinking about the NFL draft. That's just what happens after the NFL season is over. It's like a new season in itself where people are so excited to hear about prospects and whatnot. You were an interesting story coming out of the Citadel, man. You kind of had that tag of like, wasn't this polished, seasoned player? Because I think you only had 1 year in high school of playing football or something like that. You were a track athlete. So I'm curious about like what were some of your combine and pro day interviews like? I really wanted to know that.
Coach Tomlin, he told me himself when he drafted me, like he knew I had a lot of upside, a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, in all honesty, like I like he didn't know what he was gonna get because I came from the Citadel military colleges. It's not one of your Power 5 schools, or
Right.
And then I'm going to a team that's ultimately known for defense. Their history. So he ultimately said like, it was a project. I think ended up turning pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. What do you know now, or what did you know after, say 3 or 4 years in the NFL that you wish you could have told rookie Cortez Allen or Cortez Allen coming out of college?
I would say professionalism. I think that's what separates a lot of like your legends and the people that don't have as extended careers as, say Tom Brady is. I think it's the things that they do outside in the offseason, especially to, prepare their body physically to carry the load of the season. I was fortunate, my years there, being able to be around guys like James Harrison, who was exhausting as far as his preparation is in getting ready for a game or just getting ready for life in general. Just so I got a chance to see that more personally later on, but I wish that's one of the things that I knew from the beginning. Like, okay, you have to, this is your body, it's your business, so you have to take care of it like Bezos takes care of Amazon. So yeah, that kind of mindset, just the little things that you need to do to stay ahead.
Yeah, so you talked about, you mentioned James Harrison. You played with Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark. Just talk about like any stories of the, playing alongside those guys.
I was spoiled. I was so spoiled. And I actually heard Hines say in an interview, I want to say last week or so, when they were trying to compare Ben and Kenny. Yeah. And they were saying like where Ben came in, it was more such a situation where it's like, don't mess up, we have all these star guys who are proven, who have all this experience, and we just need you to manage us in a sense. And I think we're in a similar arena with Kenny, other than I would say, as far as like what I think we have the talent. Like, I think we have comparable talent as far as skill players and stuff. I think we need to build around it so that they can be who they're meant to be. Like you see Pickens and, and Harris and some of the skills that they bring to the offense. It's like, man, I wish we can maximize it in a creative way, like sort of say Kansas does with their offense. And and I think that is going to help him, really just jump out of the gym. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about, you played on that defense. Talk about the legend Dick LeBeau a little bit.
Oh man, best coach I've ever played for. Just
wow.
It's you meet certain people who you just run through a wall for. and not because they're so convincing in their arguments about what you should do, as far as the game of football, just amount of respect that you feel, from him and that he gives you as a human being. So I think most of the guys, that had success under his defense, they'll tell you, like, they'll do anything for him. Like, he just had so much faith, so much respect, so much trust in his scheme, his delivery, his approach to the game, that, man, like, I was blessed. I was blessed to be around Casey Hampton, Troy, Ryan, Ike, William Gay, Barrier, Foote. I had so many veterans around me that, I was spoiled, especially coming from where I came from. It was like, man, if I needed to learn, like, it's a perfect place.
Yeah. And another coach I wanted to talk about too, the head coach, Mike Tomlin. What was your relationship like with him? We read some articles. Did you guys have a rocky relationship, or, how was that?
No, I don't think we had a rocky relationship. I'm not even sure where that article came from. But no,
I just wanted to ask about it.
Honest, and he tells you what he needs from you and what he expects from you as a player, person, etc. And I think a little bit of my injuries got in the way of my ability to, I guess, meet those standards that the team needed. So which is one of the reasons why I ended up retiring, and one of the reasons why Pittsburgh was the only team that I played for. After I left there, it's like, okay, if I can't give it in the way that I'm comfortable giving it, then I want to put myself or the team at a disadvantage. So he's always been upfront, honest, and I think that's what people respect the most. Is like when you know exactly what you're getting from a guy.
Yeah, he's transparent. He wasn't going to, beat around the bush and say one thing. I think that's, we have a ton of former Steelers, current Steelers on our show, and that's one thing that they always say about him is that, at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are a family. And I think that's what, no matter what the outcome or how things went, it's always, you're always going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
And he's got to be probably one of the most quotable guys.
Do you have a favorite one? Barn Red.
Yeah. So
nameless great faces.
A lot of respect for Coach Tom. I think league wide, like whenever he decides to call it quits, definitely first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
You were probably pretty pissed off during the injuries and probably right after your career and whatnot, man. Like, what's your perspective on that now?
Oh, it's frustrating. I mean, I come from an environment where we had less and I got injured less. Where you're coming from the military school, we had a practice cleat and a game cleat, and you saved those for the entire year. Same thing with gloves and stuff. And so no, very minimal as far as access to like the finer things as far as staying ready in development. But never had an injury, never had a problem in my life. The ACL, which was playing basketball, not even playing football. And then you get to the league and you go through all these things. There's a psychological aspect to it that I think is not spoken about a lot as far as dealing with injuries, or the mental aspect of being immersed back into that environment after dealing with injury, and just the trust in your body, trust in yourself, your mental state. And that's something that, anybody that I talk to who's dealing with the injuries, currently playing, saying, make sure that you take care of your mind, like in the way that you think and that you speak to yourself nicely and all those things, because it does carry over to your performance. So outside of that, no, like I just wish that I talked to myself better during those times. And I think that it would have helped me take on the challenge better.
We're hanging out with former Steelers DB Cortez Allen here in the Sick Podcast, Steelers Crazy. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at SickPodSteelers. Subscribe on YouTube. You got the Instagram handle down there as well. Cortez, where are you living now? I'm just curious.
I'm in Tampa. Okay. Florida. I'm a Florida by nature, yeah.
Yep, yes, sir. So how much are you following the Steelers? What's are you watching every game? Or are you
only team I watch, but when I can get them, it's kind of where you pay for the NFL Sunday ticket, and you can't. Every game's blocked, so you have to find ways to see Steeler games or listen to the radio. So the ones I can watch, I watch, especially the primetime ones. But most of the ones, if they're at one, you typically don't get to see them down here.
Give me your outlook on the team moving forward. Obviously, you mentioned some names: Pickett, Najee Harris. What do you think about this offense? How's the defense, progressing to you? You think is the team ready to compete?
I think they've been ready to compete. I think that they have tremendous potential, and that's a word that you hear coaches say a lot: potential. But it has to be realized. So I hope that they go into the offseason with that in mind of everything that we do have, and not necessarily of what we don't have, and because I think we have a lot of key pieces that we just need to build around or secure so that they can maximize. I know that they're thinking about the with offensive coordinator and changing that. I don't know which direction they're going to go with that, but I would like them to be a lot more creative with how they get to things. I think we have tremendous talent in Harris and what he's able to do, but I think that he works a lot for it. Yeah, has to work extremely hard to get there. So I think going into the offseason, taking care of some of those things, and you will see us, I think, in next year, like we're a playoff team. Yeah. So we just have to put the pieces together. But I think Kenny showed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about your career and everything. Life after football. What is Cortez Allen? Any endeavors? Like what we know you're a super dad, but rather than being a super dad, what else is you have any business adventures? Is there anything personally that you're working on?
I do some short-term listing in the South Florida area. I have a clothing line called the Heartbreak Society. I just moved into this Tampa area from South Florida. I moved there. I got my MBA at University of Miami after I retired. Wow. And I stayed there for about 4 years and then moved up here. My dad's closer. He lives in Ocala. I'm into everything. Stock trade. I do everything. Yeah, but I stay busy. Like my life revolves around my kids and just giving them every opportunity that they can grasp. So
yeah. So you like when they're starting sports, is everyone they know you're a former NFL player, they want you to be the coach every time, right? Or did you make your coaching debut yet?
Not yet. I haven't even put him around any football right now. He's just been around jiu-jitsu and soccer. I feel like the I'm building from the ground up as far as technique and technicals. So if he does, it's an opportunity. But I pretty much just let him just live his own life and just try to be the best supporter. Yeah.
Well, hey, we really appreciate you coming on the Sick Podcast, Steelers Crazy. We hope you heal up. We know you came straight from the dentist, and we really appreciate that. We know you were a dedicated player.
He was questionable, but he played. He was questionable for the game, but he played, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
So, and you're a part of the family now, so we'll definitely have you on another time. And good luck on everything that you do, man. And go Steelers.
Appreciate it, Cortez.
Thank you. To your sister too, by the way.
What's that?
Congratulations to your sister, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be – I felt like I just had a kid myself, so I'm just learning the ropes here. So
it's fun.
This is like my first week to let loose. We have a babysitter for the weekend. I'm going downtown to the Renaissance Hotel. I'm sure you know where that's at. Yeah.
Enjoy it.
So it will be exciting. But, yeah, if I'm ever in South Florida, I'll hit you up. I know Mike's down there. Well, you're in Tampa.
I'm on the other side of you now. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so I don't know how –
I was there, yes. I'm actually going to a friend of mine, Tony Carter. He's the defensive coordinator for the Guardians. And
sounds familiar.
Team. Yes, I'm going to go out there and catch a game next week, their first home
They might recruit you for coaching, so.
Yeah, be careful.
We'll see. But thank you. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Let's do it again, man.
Appreciative to have you on. Cortez Allen, Steelers Crazy. Yeah. I mean, those were the years, man. Like, I mean, he talks about being spoiled on that team. We were spoiled to be able to watch that. Can you imagine walking into a locker room, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark, James Harrison? I mean, I see James Harrison leaving a bar, down the south side, and just like, I mean, I was like intimidated. Just he didn't even do anything, just walking. So I can't imagine walking into a locker room atmosphere with those guys in there. But
Ike swagging you, big play Willie Gay.
Yeah. Shout out our guy, Willie Gay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's the off season and we're going to have some draft guys on here, but there's just I think that what's cool about these podcasts that are in the off season is that it's just to knack the brain of former Steelers and kind of get their take on the current team, because I know like when we had Trey Essex on, like they all have so much different things to say, but I agree. I mean, I think that this team is a playoff team next year. It's inevitable. I mean, we almost did it this year. We just got off to the poor start, but I really think the future's bright. And everyone was like, "Oh, we're not going to win under Tomlin. We have Matt Canada." Like, I get that. Like, you got to work out the kinks, but dude, it's Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I think that we're going to be back.
I think one cool thing about these guys is they really do tell it how it is. Yeah. I get that a lot of them are wearing Steelers goggles to a degree because they played for the Steelers, but they're not connected to the team the same way they once were. I think when they say, I think this team's ready to turn the corner, be a playoff team, or I really like Kenny Pickett's growth, I think they mean it, right? I think if you hooked them to a lie detector,
you kind of have to value their opinion. I mean, they're
I
former
don't think
players.
They're just saying
it's not
it
like
to appease fans. Listen, if they were saying it for notoriety, they'd say the opposite. I'll tell you that much. We know how the social media game works now. Somebody would jump on and say, I think Kenny Pickett stinks and the Steelers are going to win 4 games next year, and then this podcast would probably blow up. So I trust these guys. I believe these guys. They believe in Mike Tomlin. They believe in, the city, the culture that this team has created, obviously. And so for us, it's easy then to believe when you have guys like that telling you those type of things.
Yeah, and I know something that I believe in, putting some money in my pocket. Hey, Sammy, why don't you play that Sick Picks segment?
It's time for Sick Picks, brought to you by MyBookie.
So listen, I'm still riding high off the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'm ever going to place a bet again after that, because
he crushed it.
Yeah, but yeah, MyBookie, man, bet anywhere, anytime. Cash in, cash out with MyBookie. Just type in MyBookie on Google. We'll pop right up. But make sure that you use our code SICKPICKS. That's SICKPICKS. You have baseball spring training starting. You have NBA in full effect, NHL playoffs, everything. I mean, I can you bet on XFL and USFL? I'm sure that you
Oh yeah,
can.
when it comes around,
So
definitely.
there you
You can bet
go.
on cricket, ping pong.
Yeah.
Golf is here. We got Tiger playing this weekend.
So my bookie is the only place to go. And I'm just saying that from experience because I'm sitting pretty high after the
You're
Super
champ.
Bowl. The
I think
champ
you
is
own my
here.
bookie now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
You're
my
hot
bookie.
stuff. Look at this.
That was great. But yeah, just make
You
sure
didn't see that one coming.
No, I didn't. That
No
was great.
Steeler. It was not a Steeler cup. I kind
No.
of forgot what I was making.
But
my
yeah,
tea.
man, just make
to
sure
soothe
you
my
use our
throat.
code SICKPICS. And again, we really appreciate everyone tuning into us for everywhere, all over. Shout out to our people in Germany. We're going to be having them on. As Mike always says, it's Steelers worldwide because the Dallas Cowboys, man, listen, you can have America's team because the Steelers are the world team. And we appreciate everyone tuning in for another episode of the Sick Podcast, Steelers Crazy. I am JY. This is Mike. And it was such a splendid time to have Cortez Allen on. Just such a great guy and a super dad. And who knows, maybe a future coach, maybe in the XFL. You never know. But yeah, we'll be back Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to have some draft guys on. And
Yes, sir.
you never know who we're going to bring on. We're always chopping it up with Steeler reporters and the best in the game. So just make sure you subscribe. All of our handles are down there. For Steeler Crazy, I'm JY. This is Michael Nicastro. We'll see you next week.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.